I want to talk about one of the most awful people in the world hanging out with one of the other most awful people in the world. Marjorie Taylor Green did a little thing where she went to AFPAC. AFPAC is America First PAC, and that was a decision.
And while the MAGA rally atmosphere has become the mainstream for the Republican Party, it's all essentially interchangeable. The real vanguard of the conservative movement was at a competing adjacent event.
I like that they call it adjacent. I really like that. We'll figure out why in a moment.
This one organized by an avowed white supremacist called the America First Political Action Conference.
There's Nicky Fuentes.
You could call it a fringe gathering, except for the fact that two sitting members of Congress were a part of it. Republicans Paul Gosar of Arizona and Marjorie Taylor Green of Georgia. Now listen to what Nick Fuentes, the anti-Semitic white nationalist leader of the conference, said just before introducing his special guest, Congresswoman Green.
And you want to know the secret? To borrow a phrase from a friend of mine, our secret sauce here, it's these young white men.
Young white man. Look at the like fucking devilish grin. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he's doing exactly what he wants to be doing. So let's not pretend like this is a shock. Okay.
That's what we call the secret ingredient. America and the world has forgotten about them, but not us. You know, they say about America, they say, diversity is our strength, you know. And I look at China and I look at Russia. Can we give a round of applause for Russia? Yes.
That's some good values there. Let's way to go, invading force.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, that's the podium that Marjorie Taylor Green then appeared at. And today, she started feeling the heat. She tried to pretend she had no idea who the white supremacist guy was or what he stood for. But you can see from her speech, right after his, that she knew exactly where she was.
I can't find it. She basically was like, well, I did not know that these were white nationalists. Like, how was I to know? And what I wanted to talk about is the simple fact that she fucking did know. And I can explain how I know she fucking knew. And I will do so now. So, do it in Dr. Seuss voice? I don't know if I know how to do a Dr. Seuss voice. Essentially, what she was saying is like, I didn't know. When you are a major political figure, which admittedly it's hard to sort of really grapple with the idea that someone like Marjorie Taylor Green could be a major political figure, but she is. That's the world that we live in. When you're a major political figure, you actually have what's called a staff. And your staff does things like chooses what speaking engagements you do. And they are doing so under your direction, and you know a whole lot of things about the places you speak, because you don't want to accidentally do a speech at a Klan rally, or if you're a conservative and you get invited to speak at a trans positive gay bar, for example. Like, you have staff that prevent this. So when Nick Fuentes reached out to their people and said, hey, we're doing this little pack and we'd love it if we could get MGT on board. MGT knew what the fuck was going on. She agreed to that performance because that's who she is, right? Nick Fuentes is not exactly, one of the more prominent voices. He's been silenced rather effectively. And I would say that, that gives a certain degree of plausible deniability, but not really. I would say that most conservatives, especially most super toxic, ridiculously right-wing, foam at the mouth conservatives like Ms. Taylor Green, are very aware of who Nick Fuentes is, and probably regular watchers. I was watching a stream the other night. My friend Riverboat Jack, and by friend I mean like someone I know as a streamer. And I was parasocialing for a moment there. Riverboat Jack was doing a stream, and Riverboat Jack is a trans woman who is a magnificent streamer, and I highly suggest if you are not following Riverboat Jack that you do so. But Riverboat Jack was having a stream, and it was hilarious. She was watching a video about, it was a 1980s cop training film dealing with edged weapons, and it was like brilliant. I'm going to do something different, actually. We're going to watch the Klaus video, I think, one of these days. Maybe today, maybe not, depending on how time goes. But it was like literally in the 80s, it was a video that cops made to teach cops how to deal with edged weapons, because that's the thing cops need to care about. And it's hilarious. It is so fucking, like, there's a scene where the look at this man. He's wearing a baseball cap. It looks like a regular cap, but no. And then it shows the back of the cap, and there's like sewn on razor blades. And then it goes back to the front of him, and he's like, whooshing. Like, it was so fucking bad. We're in the middle of watching this, and then she starts getting a hate raid. If you're not familiar with the concept of a hate raid, it's a raid full of hate. I think the name says it all. And it turns out that Nick Fuentes was watching her stream on his America First channel, which is not on Twitch, it's on something else. And he sent his, little ghoulish minions forth. And Riverboat Jack has plenty of mods and access to the stuff, so it was a non-thing. But as while this was still going on, she's like, Nick, I'm going to play something for you. And she has this video. I don't know where she got it. I tried looking for it just to watch it again because it was a good giggle. It's someone took a PragerU video complaining about something and how we need to normalize some horrible aspect of conservatism. And they changed it so that it was every time he said whatever the thing was, it was replaced with him saying cat boys. And so it was all about like, what we need is more cat boys. And it was fucking hilarious, especially because I did not know about the Fuentes Catboy thing. But it turns out that there's video of Nick Fuentes, prominent white supremacist, angry bitch boy, hanging out with a catboy and being 100% okay with catboys and with, essentially there's reason to suspect that Nick is maybe not quite as hetero presenting as he is. Now, I'm 100% supportive of that. I think that's fucking awesome. As long as he doesn't use his platform to marginalize people, like, I don't know, conducting hate raids on trans people. That might be a thing. It once again just feels like the chronic grift of the right, which is, I am terrified because I'm a bad person, because I have feelings that are not the norm. So I'm going to just stand as normie as I can and as loud as I can, be like, I'm normal, and anything that's not normal is degenerate and evil. I am far from perfect. But I try to live my values. I try to be a pretty decent human being, and I try to, as best as I can, live the kind of authentic life that I do. And I, most of the time, pretty much nail that. No one's perfect, and I'm not going to pretend to be, and I'm not saintly. But it's important to me that I try. And I can't imagine living a life so fully and completely devoid of that integrity and of that honesty. Like, it's just so strange to me. So yeah, the argument that Marjorie did not know that she was going to a white nationalist rally. I feel like maybe that argument is weak like tea. And, Marjorie, since I'm sure you're watching with my millions of viewers, I don't like you. And I hope that bad but non-fatal things happen to you. Marjorie Taylor Green, for the record, I think is also a grifter. She used to be a different person, and then she got this sort of running leap into the Republican world with her pro-Trump QAnon rhetoric. but maybe she is. Maybe she's full on a Q. It's hard to know, but I definitely think that she played a role in fucking January 6th. That's all I'm saying. She decided to grift. And that's the thing is, like, I'm 50-50 on whether or not that's the case. Like, Q also rots people's brains, right? There's perfectly reasonable, rational people who have suddenly just drank the Kool-Aid and are like bananas. I don't know. I know that's like an ableist term, and I probably shouldn't use it, but I can't think of a better way to say the brain rot that they experience from Q. Yeah, Rex Murphy, like a guy who was really not goofy and is now like dedicated goofy. Like it's surreal. The people who are hanging out and are like waiting for the return of JFK Jr. or no Robert Jr. What was it? I don't remember which kid. One of the dead Kennedys. Pamela Wallen. I don't know anything about Pamela Wallen. Patrick Duffy. Yeah, there's a slew of these people that it's like, wow, how do you go from what you were to like a foam with the mouth Q person? I don't understand. First off, I want to say thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed, please like and subscribe. It really does help me out. Thank you to my patrons that support me on Patreon. I am a little streamer, and these people are all really awesome for supporting me. I try to put up stuff at least once a week, and I live stream every Saturday at noon Mountain Time on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, like an old man. Again, thanks for watching, and have a kick-ass day.